Welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. My name is Jason Pagaduan and I'm a freelance photographer from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. This is going to be the very first video that I'm uploading on my channel, and in 2021 I'm planning to upload more videos. Hopefully when we can travel again, I'm going to want to document more travel vlogs. But anyways, as you can see in the title, I went on my Instagram a couple days ago and asked you guys what kind of questions you want to ask me. So let's get right into it. Favorite shot of yours? My favorite shot is Moraine Lake in Banff. I remember it was taken in summer of 2016 and it was a cloudy day at first, but as soon as the clouds went away and the sunlight came out and the reflection of the lake, it was the most beautiful shot ever, and I would definitely want to go back again. Tips to find a specialty in photography like street or portrait. If you really want to find a specialty, you should definitely try to shoot different types of photos like landscape, portrait, weddings, or commercial type of stuff. From then on, whatever kind of interests that you have, then you gotta identify yourself as that photographer. I'm a landscape, cityscape, and portrait photographer, but I also like to do commercial work on the side, is what I kind of try to incorporate all together. Best way to get started as a photographer. I have a Canon Rebel T7 and I'm just stuck. So when I first started photography back in 2014, I started with a Sony camera that I borrowed from my parents for about 2 years. And after 2 years, I got a Canon Rebel T5. 5 years later, in 2020, is when I got my Canon 5D Mark III, which is the camera I'm filming on right now. You shouldn't get so excited to get a professional camera. You'd be wasting so much money investing in camera, lenses, and all equipments, but not know how to use it. So you gotta start off with like a T7, for example, is a very good starter camera, and that way you could practice more on what kind of photography you want to take, and also kind of get used to the lighting and the kind of angles that you want to get these photos for. So when you're ready to take on the next camera and you want a full frame camera, you'll be ready to use it. What camera do you use? Okay, so I'm filming right now 5D Mark III with the 24-70 lens 2.8. Such a game changer for me because full frame is what so many photographers that I know personally use when they're at the advanced level. What inspired you to be a photographer? I didn't really have a sort of inspiration. It kind of just grew as I started doing photography. So I would go with my family to a bunch of locations, you know, all around Ontario. They used to take photos too. I got the chance to take the camera and start taking photos, and I got so intrigued with it. It grew upon me after about a year or so. I decided that I want to do this more seriously, and I started traveling all over Toronto and Mississauga. Are your photography skills self-taught? Also, keep up the work. Thank you. Is it self-taught? Yes. I didn't go take photography class in high school. I didn't take any photography courses in university or college. I basically was taught from my brother, who started as a photographer first. When my hobby started catching on and I wanted to do it more, he sort of taught me the basics of photography, and then I started to do YouTube tutorials, how to use aperture, how to use ISO, how to use shutter speed, figuring out, you know, what settings works well, how do you network to get clients and models, etc. So when I first started photography, I would just go explore in Toronto and Mississauga, and I would just take photos, and I didn't really think about doing clients or models, and I didn't really get into the whole clientele until maybe a couple years after, when I started to do portraits. I would go on Instagram and I would try to network as many people as I possibly can, whether they were photographers or models. I don't know if there's an easy way to network. There's so many different ways of networking. If you want to network in person, go to a bunch of photography events, go to a bunch of meetups that people may have when it's safe to do it again. When you try to reach out to clients like brands or companies, be professional and introduce yourself and give them an incentive and a reason why they should reach out back to you. Maybe they could start collaborating with you if they could see that you have the talent and the eye for what they're looking for. Another way you could collab and network with people is on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is an app where you could live chat with a bunch of creators, photographers, influencers, CEOs, marketers, and just kind of learn from their opinions and their perspectives how to do business. But unfortunately, it's with iOS users and you can only get an invite from somebody. Is it hard making money being a photographer? Right now, very difficult with the pandemic and the lockdowns, unable to actually be out in person and network with people. Overall, it's kind of who you know that kind of gets you these jobs, that kind of gets you to meet these people. Work will start to pick up and the incomes will start to pick up once you kind of know your rates and how much you're worth. How much did it cost to get into photography? Your camera, lens, whole setup. I bought everything, well, almost everything used. I bought the 5D Mark III body, the battery grip, the lens online, and for cheap. If you're wanting to buy a new camera, that's up to you. I would personally buy only the lens brand new. New lens come out every year. Sometimes the lens that you had before isn't up to par with the new lens that you're trying to save up for, like, you know, a 50mm lens or a 24-70 type of lens. The body itself, it could last you a couple years, and I've seen photographers use the same body for quite a while. What do you use to edit? I edit with Adobe Lightroom. It's quick, it's easy to learn. Just go on YouTube, do some tutorials on how to actually start editing. For videos, I use Final Cut Pro 10. I like to use Final Cut Pro because it's so much easier to edit, just put everything into one video. Premiere Pro, for example, it's more advanced, I would say. How long did it take you to master photography? I don't know how to answer this question the right way. This is a very subjective question. I feel like I haven't mastered photography at all, and I still have so many years to go to learn and still grow as a photographer, because mastering something takes a long time, and every day that you want to get better, you're just not fully satisfied. Right now, I don't think I've actually mastered photography. Alright, so I think that's the end of it. If you really like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any other questions. I'll try to answer as many as possible. If you have any suggestions, don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends. Follow me on Instagram at 905shooter, Twitter at 905shooter, TikTok at the 905shooter, and I have a clubhouse at 905shooter. So I'll be posting a lot more other content on my TikTok and my Instagram about photography, tutorials possibly. So just let me know what you want. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.